The decision by the UN Security Council to reject a request by the AU seeking to defer cases facing President Kenyatta and his deputy William Ruto has been greeted with anger and frustration.
I want to say first, if you abstain from a vote, you are a coward. Afadhali wangeweka kura yao tujue.
How do you abstain from a friend na useme is still your friend? I think Britain, US na countries zingine need to appreciate that when a friend is making a request, just like when they make a request we support them, they need to sit also with developing countries like Kenya and show respect so that we can be able to move together as a country.
Ever since, questions have been raised over why the UN's topmost organ made the resolution. Constitutional lawyer Ashford Muriuki holds the view that the decision was dictated by the Council's attachment to the ICC.
So the UN was motivated by the need to not to be seen, to frustrate the ICC.
This coupled with poor lobbying and coordination by government emissaries.
The way the lobbying was done was not entirely convincing. In my view, it was not well coordinated, because until the African Union met in Addis Ababa and passed that resolution, and it's like we were not really so much concerned, even as a country, to do serious international lobbying to convince the United Nations Security Council why these cases should be deferred.
Muriuki claims that failure by the 10th Parliament to institute a local tribunal immediately after the 2008 post-poll agreement exposed the country to international pressure, a key factor that might have influenced the Security Council's decision.
This is a process that should have commenced almost immediately after the resolution of the conflict after 2007-2008 post-election violence. It is a failure of our politicians. At that time, they ought to have taken a very concerted effort to ensure that our own mechanisms here work and deal with these situations.
And even as politicians promise to lead an onslaught against nations which abstains from the resolution, Muriuki terms their sentiments suicidal and of no impact, cautioning that their utterances might complicate cases facing the three Kenyans at the ICC.
Wanatumia field zetu Laikipia na Nanyuki, na wanajeshi wao wanafanya madhambi kila siku, wanarap na kuua kina mama zetu, na sisi tunanyamaza. Tunataka jeshi la Uingereza litoke Laikipia na litoke Nanyuki warudi kwao.
Mr. Deputy President, government that you lead with Honorable Uhuru Kenyatta should do business with our friends. We shall have no business with our enemies.
Remember, the world is watching. Kenya is not an island. Kenya is a member of international, a member of the community of nations. So what they are saying here, you have the media, you have everybody. The entire world is watching. Now, if you are going to say, for instance, go and lobby the United Nations, in fact, that is one of the factors that contributed to the rejection of the Kenyan request for deferral, because of the things the politicians are doing here. If you call a press conference and denounce the ICC, you call a press conference and denounce the US, you denounce I don't know who, you denounce what.
According to Muriuki, the resolution by the UN Security Council is now irreversible, leaving the president and his deputy with no option but cooperate fully with the ICC. Eric Biegon reporting for Channel 1 News Hour.